Marco,
Mimma,
so nice to see you.
so nice to see you too.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Welcome to Milano, Mimma.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So, what's going on? What's happening?
New location. New location.
Tell me everything.
Yeah, so this season for winter 22, we have planned 2 locations for tomorrow. Here, Bagni Misteriosi, and Garage 21, Garage 21, which is our
Normal.
Yeah, the standard location for the past 2 years or so. Multiple reasons why we had 2 locations. First of all, space. We needed more space.
So, growing brands.
Absolutely, for both Tomorrow and Goods and Services, and then wanting really to come back to an experience. And when we saw this space at Bagni Misteriosi, we felt it was the right thing to do. As you will see, as you've seen already, inside is quite of an experience itself.
It's so beautiful.
Absolutely, and the collections, it's a kind of a labyrinth that you need to go through, which is also quite nice. And each brand has done a little something just to get you into that mood. We obviously hoped that there was going to be more traffic. I'm not going to lie, there is still a lot that it's happening digitally this season again.
So, tell me what's going on in fashion also. So, what's happening? How? I guess what I want to know is, do the collection reflect this uncertainty of the world situation?
Absolutely, they do.
How?
I think, obviously, 6 months ago, or even a year ago, to be honest, when our talents were thinking about this season, Autumn Winter 22, in their minds there was the hope of being...
We were out of it.
Free, you know, to be out of it. And to be honest, the trajectory, more or less, in particular in Europe, was going to that direction until a few months ago. But obviously, Omicron, and that sort of stopped that hope for a bit. We are now in a position where fashion is reflecting that, because obviously collections are done. Although there is still a bit of mixed feelings about, you know, that theme and that aesthetic, I would say, which is I'm going out, and that
So I'm dressing to go out.
I'm dressing because I'm craving for connections. I want to be out.
I'm craving to dress.
I'm craving to dress well. I'm craving to that, you know, human connection. But then on the other end, also the fact that they want to be comfortable at home.
Does it mean that we still have the shapes of like sweats and stuff like that, but in like going out materials? They don't look like pajamas anymore?
Knitwear, for instance, huge trend.
A lot of knitwear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Knitwear, we have forecasted and we see a huge growth on knitwear for this market. Yes, there is still definitely like comfortable wear. I don't know if you can say that, but in a more sophisticated materials.
Yeah, that's nice.
For sure.
That's nice.
And obviously, without saying too much, but Martine Rose is a champion on that. And I think this collection is really max that mix of what we just said, you know, the fact that
being at home but going out.
Absolutely, you want to look beautiful, but comfortable, because most likely you're still going to be home, you know.
But Martine has always been quite realistic in her fashion, yet edgy. So
absolutely.
Does she continue
and
this trend?
And oversized, so obviously, you know. But yes, there is seasonal pieces, directional pieces, which are next level. Although Martine has also evolved sophistication in this collection to the next level. And so there is great layering, for instance, in there.
Amazing. I think there is a head minor effect on modern, the next stage of tailoring, meaning the formal. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Head is doing to men's fashion what Hedi Slimane did 20 years ago.
Oh my God, well.
So it's changing the shape of tailoring.
I think I would be happy to hear that, but it's absolutely. Head has been leading a way of rethinking masculinity through tailoring in a way that really challenges boundaries for menswear. He does it in a way where you have exaggerated shapes, right? And you have elongated shapes, which you're not necessarily used to see. And he has an amazing reaction from that sort of aesthetic from Asia, historically. Now it's good time, exactly for what you're saying, for that aesthetic to be better received also here in the Western world.
So meaning that there is a need to renew the formality.
Absolutely.
And you can see it on the, I'm not going to mention names, but you see it in the collections of the big Italian menswear classic brands.
Absolutely.
And I think it's an amazing thing that's
Absolutely.
happening. So tell me, always about masculinity, what are other trends or ways for the new masculinity?
Well, obviously, there is a reception, in particularly from younger generation of masculinity, that again, it's been challenged, right? So it's very different, it's very fluid. And, if we think about GmbH, for instance, there is always been perhaps they're a little sexier even, way of expressing new masculinity. When I wear GmbH, I do feel sexy myself. Again, this season they are demi-couture inspired.
Oh, wow.
Which is something that they recently started and something that really suit them, really suit the brand and the extension of the brand. You will see, again, some key details that they're developing, which is the off-shoulders, the wrapping.
And what about our star of the season, Bianca Saunders?
Wrapping for Bianca as well. I mean, obviously
That's
Bianca...
why it reminded me.
Absolutely. Bianca obviously is having her first show in Paris.
Yeah, first ever catwalk.
Absolutely. Bianca has developed obviously still key details of amazing tailoring. Again, different ways of interpreting masculinity. And in a way that also wrapping there, for instance, on the denim, you'll see that it's kind of like a very oversized denim that is sort of wrapped around the waist, creating these amazing waves.
And what about the jacket, the blazers that you
still there,
that you wear as a sweater?
Absolutely. I sort of like, again, there perhaps is a perfect example of something in between what we just discussed, because Bianca develops details where, like the jacket, the Sina jacket that you're just referring to, where there is a button up that goes halfway. If you open it up, you feel a little bit sexy. There is a little bit more skin. But if you close it, it's just a piece of outerwear, right? That looks like a padded jacket, a padded shirt, exactly. So that's also a way of reinterpreting this tailoring elements in a way that, according to how you feel, where you are, either you're outside or home, because at this point you never know.
Yeah.
You can just adjust that garment, and that's clever. And
That's very
beautiful.
clever, yeah.
So very, very happy for what she's been doing.
So is there still these streetwear / going toward tailoring, some technical wear?
Absolutely.
What about a cold wall, for instance?
For a cold wall, it's definitely a mix of both. Perhaps to mention the collaboration with Roa is that sort of perfect fusion of these two worlds as well, into an accessory, into a shoe. Like there is so much color as well.
No black, amazing.
No black.
Yeah.
But you will still see a lot of black around.
In general,
absolutely. Yeah.
What about Loverboy? Charles Jeffrey.
Not much black at all.
Not much black, yeah. Very much color.
Yeah, and Charles, the collection is developing amazingly, and it's obviously, when we talk about, gender and new ways of masculinity, of course Charles champions that, but to an extra level even,
Mini skirts, I've seen.
Of course, and you will see them even in the line sheet or in the lookbook on boys and girls, as it should be, and the sizing and all of that, adjusted to no-binary.
But I think, the no-binary trend, it's not even a trend anymore now, it's part of life, right? But
Absolutely.
I think this effeminate male who is also a straight man, it's also there to stay.
The thing is, it's right there where I stop you and I say, is it feminine though?
Exactly. It's having fun with clothes. It's taking care.
Absolutely. It's what people has always thought it was feminine, but maybe it's not. And there is always, some men show it more, some men just are scared to show it. But there is a feminine element in each one of us being, in each man, right? And obviously there is people like me that show it more, and other people that might show it less, but it's there. And it's just about amazing talents like Charles to find a way to connect to that feminine side of you, which is beautiful, and be empowered by these garments.
And just before concluding, I was imagining a formally dressed man with Stephen Marsh shoes, just to give it a little bit of an edge. So there's some new accessories also that are very interesting.
But you see that it's new. It's something that you haven't necessarily seen before. Stephen Marsh, for instance, you know, that heel, it's there is, you know, that extra element of creativity, because if you need a new pair of beautiful shoes or bags, you want something people haven't seen before, and you want something that is creative and surely directional, but in a way that is also unique, and that similarly to Publish By, for instance, you can have a Stephen Marsh shoe or a Publish By bag, and if it's lying there on your floor and it's up on a shelf,
it's a piece of
furniture, right?
It's a piece of art. So it's an object.
It's an object, right? And so, yeah, great accessories.
And also, men are wearing more and more bags, like big tote bags in leather that they wouldn't even think about, where, you know, everything was in the pockets. And now, men, and again, you know, straight men, urban men, whatever, they are wearing bags. So there's a whole new market for leather as well, right? For leather accessories.
Totally.
Are we optimistical for the season?
We are. We want to be. What is most encouraging is that, again, after this, 2 years now of madness, the talents that Tomorrow embraces have evolved immensely. And
the kids have grown up.
Absolutely, and they're leading the way, and that's why we're so optimistic. Because if they can do this now, imagine when all those challenges will be gone.
Thank you so much, Marco.
Thank you,
Always
Mimma.
lovely to talk to you.
My pleasure.